The first question for you is, how are you going to balance your time between APASA and your RA responsibilities next year?
Yeah, definitely. With my commitment next year as APASA's assistant director, and next year going in as an RA again, those are really two responsibilities, but same thing. But they're the exact same responsibilities that I've had this year, having to balance Choifi, APASA, and RA. I like to believe that this year I did a really good job of being able to balance all three, as I've still made the effort to come out to every single Choifi event and be able to make time for those three different things. Me as a person, I really like to be organized and manage my schedule so that I try to minimize those different conflicts and be able to, and with my strong ability to prioritize, I don't think that I have a problem next year being able to manage those three different responsibilities.
The second question is, take us through a timeline of an event you have planned.
Like that I have planned, like past tense, or that you have? Okay. Yeah. So with Kamayan happening next, or in a couple of days, I'll walk you all through that process. So definitely, because we got funding from APASA, we had to start this process like 6 weeks ago, just because of the different funding restrictions that APASA has. So this has been a project that Judge and I have been even planning about and thinking about since fall semester. And at the very beginning of spring semester is when we started like putting that plan into fruition. So initially what we did is like we decided, when are we gonna have Kamayan? And once we decided the who, what, when, where, it all started to fall into place, and having to fill out the different paperwork, having to figure out, okay, where we're gonna secure the Choifi house as a venue. And then who, we're gonna ask, obviously we're gonna get APASA to fund the big bulk of the entrees, and then we're gonna ask all of our members to contribute and do this potluck style. When it's gonna take place this Saturday from 1 to 3, and just simply like getting those logistics out of the way really far ahead of time and being able to implement that now. So with that process, having that paperwork ready, getting the paperwork approved by APASA, and getting that funding. Earlier this week, I called the vendors in order to place the order for the food, and then Judge and I throughout this week have been like planning the logistics. So okay, like Judge will prepare the table and like all the things at the house while I'm cooking up the food on Saturday. So with this intensive planning and thinking things through like step by step, just that organization aspect is like something that I really value in planning events.
Your next question is, what new activities would you start to implement in the fall that engages more with the KAA lives?
Yeah, so definitely, I didn't get enough time to be able to talk about that in my speech, but in the fall, I really want to implement this new like thing like Spirit Weeks in KAA, and like have, because in high school I was in charge of like the Spirit Week committee, so this is like definitely something I wanted to implement here, since it's a great way to incentivize, you know, just having that small little things that like keep your family together, like keep you bonded, and just have a reason to like dress up in the same outfit or dress up in like similar themes. And that's even having a Spirit Week like that is like something great that will like be rewarded points and incentivize family members to get together and to do these like dress up days or to do these activities together throughout this whole week. So that's definitely one of the aspects that I had planned for KAA. I also wanted to implement a whole point system for the KAA program, in which like every time you hang out with your kuya, ate, ading, you'll get like points and stuff like that for all these little small things. Because I think one of the biggest problems with like the KA program, which like just seems to happen, is that these relationships are super, super strong during reveals, but then after that they tend to like go down, and like people like, because we're all so busy, like those relationships begin to like hinder and like dwell off. So hopefully through this incentive points program, that it's something that we continue throughout the whole year, and not having it to be like only doing reveals and to die down, and having something more consistent.
Okay, your next question is, how do you see your role in board with larger events such as friendship games, T-pop, or PAC?
Yeah, definitely as programming and having these different programming events being led by other e-board members, I definitely want to just provide whatever support that I can to these events. So whether that's friendship games, just making sure that I'm out there and like setting the precedent for the rest of the e-board, and setting the precedent for the rest of the members. Like even though like someone's may be busy, like just dedicating whatever time that we can to these different events, whether that's like 5 minutes, 5 hours, what have you. Just being able to like offer whatever help that I can. Like with PACN, stepping up to be a coordinator, like stepping up to try to help transport different materials from the house back and forth, and just being that helping hand, even though it's not my program that I'm heading and overseeing, just being able to provide that extra support that we want to be able to give to the rest of our e-boarders as well as to the rest of our members.
And your last question is, what was the dynamic with you and your coach share, and how are you guys able to work together successfully without butting heads?
I think something with me and Judge, like, we like take two different like approaches to things, but like because of those differences, we're able to like come in the middle and like find like a good like sweet spot type of thing. So me and Judge like have our own personal strengths and weaknesses, and that like I do like more of the logistics planning, and Judge will like come up with like more of the creative aspects, and just like having that mutual like understanding, like respect between one another, and like just laying it on the table to like being able to openly voice our opinions, and just how like that give and take process. So.
Thank you.